The next morning, the village woke to an unusual silence. The cheerful songs of birds were gone, and even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Eli stepped outside his home and looked toward the horizon. Dark clouds were gathering faster than anyone had ever seen before. The elderly woman who had believed his message stood beside him. She looked at the sky and quietly whispered, "The warning has begun." In the village square, people continued their daily activities. Some laughed, some traded in the market, and others ignored the strange change in the weather. But Eli knew this was no ordinary day. Heaven's warning was becoming reality. The wind grew stronger with every passing moment. Dust swirled through the village streets, and the leaves of the great baobab tree trembled as if they sensed what was coming. The villagers paused and looked toward the sky. The bright morning had disappeared beneath thick, dark clouds. Suddenly, a single raindrop landed on the hand of a young child. Another fell onto the roof of a nearby house. Within moments, the sound of raindrops echoed across the village. The people looked at one another in confusion. Their laughter was gone. Eli stood silently beside the elderly woman. He knew this was only the beginning. The old woman whispered, "God always keeps his word." Without warning, the heavens opened. Rain poured down with a force the village had never witnessed. Thunder shook the earth, and flashes of lightning lit up the dark sky. The peaceful streets quickly filled with rushing water. Market stalls collapsed under the wind, and frightened families ran for shelter. The same people who had laughed at Eli only a day before were now filled with fear. One of the elders looked toward Eli with trembling eyes and whispered, "The boy was telling the truth." Eli did not rejoice in their fear. Instead, the storm continued through the night. But as dawn broke, the rain slowly came to an end. The villagers stepped out of their homes and looked around in silence. The fields were soaked, the trees glistened with fresh rain, and the air felt calm once again. One by one, the elders walked toward Eli. The same voices that had mocked him now spoke with humility. The chief elder bowed his head and said, "Eli, we doubted you. We laughed at the message God placed in your heart. Please forgive us." Eli smiled gently. "I have already forgiven you. God did not send me to condemn anyone. He sent me because he loves this village." The elderly woman who had believed from the beginning looked toward the sky and whispered, "When God speaks, wisdom listens." The villagers gathered together beneath the great baobab tree. They prayed with thankful hearts, grateful for God's mercy and for the courage of one young boy who chose to obey. And from that day forward, no one in the village ever forgot that God can speak through anyone who is willing to listen.